evening. It is 6 p.m. Friday evening, 5:59, 6 p.m. We are a little bit early. So, like we said, we were going live to do the podcast on Friday instead of dropping the episode. We're doing this live. So, we hope that you guys tune in. We hope that you join us on whatever platform you may be joining us from, whether it be Facebook or YouTube. We are live with Let's Talk About It with the Thomases. And how you doing today?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's Friday and the weekend is here. We got some NCAA women's basketball that's going to come on. So we're going to talk with you briefly uh, about love and validation. I've been looking at social media and I've seen a lot of people utilizing the social platform to get validated. And I just wanted to ask you what you think about that.
Mm. Well, I don't think you should have to look for validation on social media. That's the last place you need to look for validation. What
Facts.
what's social media gonna do?
I mean, people seem to make social media the centerpiece of their life. And, a lot of folk look for validation. You look at a lot of the posts that people post. And a lot of the times people be like, mm-mm, nah, it's not me. I'm not looking for validation on social media. Think about the things that you repost. Think about the stuff that you view and listen. I used to be the same way because I wanted somebody to agree with what I was seeking validation for, whether somebody had wronged me, whether I was trying to make a point to get a point across. I would see a post and be like, ooh, 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 that hit so and so. So and so need to see this. So I'd share it on my social media. And it's almost like, I'm seeking validation from other people to agree with it because again, let's look at it from a standpoint of social media. A lot of people look for a lot of likes, a lot of comments, a lot of interaction. I'll take this podcast for instance. We don't get a lot of likes. We don't get a lot of interactions. Now, most people will be like, "Man, I'd give up." But again, I said it several episodes ago that if I reach one, I've accomplished my goal. So it's not about if it goes viral, it goes viral. I'm not seeking validation because I know who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am as an individual. I don't need anybody else to, you know what I'm saying? I don't need anybody to hype me up. I don't need nobody to tell me. It kind of goes back to quick Bible lesson. It goes back to when God created man and he saw that man was lonely. He didn't create Eve to validate Adam. He created Eve to complement Adam,
Mhm.
which means she's a compliment to him. When you see Adam and you see Eve, boom, ooh, you know what? They look good together. It's like, they are not perfect because nobody's perfect, but they fit one another. So, a lot of the times we got to stop going on social media and seeking validation from our friends or somebody that you may like. One of the things that bothers me, I don't know about you. Well, what bothers me is it's a pet peeve of mine is that when people what do they call it? They called it I forget what they called it when it was on Twitter, where they basically make a post and it'll be about somebody, but
Mhm.
they never tag the person or never say who it is.
Like gaslight?
Not gaslighting. They called it something tweeting, ghost tweet. I forget what it was. It was a term that they used. But people, hey, look, we grown ups. And here goes the thing: you don't need social media. Again, people use social media because they want validation. They want that backing. So they put a certain thing out there, and maybe certain people in their group, they might know. You know what I'm saying? They might know a little bit about who it is that they're talking about, but listen, let me tell you something. And it's not about validation. And I'm going to say this because here goes the things. I don't validate you. I
Mhm.
don't validate you, but what I do is I encourage you. And I'm using an example because there's times where we can use this because you know what I'm saying we got to be first partakers in what we're talking about. When we
Mhm.
talk to you about it, we will had to have experienced it or there's something that we've been through where we can give you this information. Like a lot of the time, I can't remember what it was, but it was something that you saw. Child, this woman was so upset. It wasn't nothing she could do about it.
Mm.
What can you do about it? So instead of carry around that negativity, instead of carry around that weight, that unnecessary stress, what I begin to do is I begin to speak words of affirmation. See, there's a difference between validation and then affirming something that they already know. You just forget who you are. Let me shut my mouth and let you talk to the people because they're gonna be like, this, let's talk about it with Ty.
No, I'm like you. Social media, I think people, like they say, they jump on there. I call it weak Pete. I shouldn't say that. But what I will say is you should be able to say to whoever it is you're trying to reach, you should be able to verbally say that to that person and not hide behind the keyboard or be subject to, oh, was that about me? Or, get everybody to assuming and all of that. Because to me, that stuff just causes drama. I don't do drama. I don't.
Right.
So I just think validation is just something, as long as God has validated you, you have validated yourself, your partner or husband, spouse, whatever, whomever you with have validated you. What difference does it make what someone else thinks? So,
That is true. Now, if you see us looking away or me looking away, it says that this is supposed to be live on both YouTube and Facebook. So we're trying to definitely see if it's live so that we can interact with anybody that has logged on and you may not see us. This is the first time that we've went live. So yeah, it's kind of, I was trying to see. Okay. So I do see right here that it's live. It's telling me that it's live. Oh, yep. We're live on YouTube because I can see the live. I can see the little live where it says that we're live on YouTube. I'm going to try to go and let me mute let me mute the speakers so that you don't get that feedback. But we are live. And so if anybody's on YouTube, I can respond there. But yeah, we're, not to interrupt you. I just wanted to, you know what I'm
no, you're
saying?
fine.
I wanted to make sure that we were live. So if anyone did go live and they didn't catch the live, you know, um, validation, talking about validation and we can look at this show for instance. You got to find your mute button.
Go ahead, keep talking. I got it.
So we can look at this show, for instance, we'll have a lot of people say, yeah, man, I'm going to support. And we know everybody works, everybody does this. And this is something that we just wanted to do. But again, we have asked numerous times for your feedback. We've asked you, hey, what works for you? If we're going to do a live, when does it work? Because then we can set the date of when we're going to go live. We just decided, last week, we left, we went to Myrtle Beach to celebrate 52 years of marriage with your parents.
Mhm.
So we went to Myrtle Beach with her parents this past weekend. And let me tell you something. Listen, when we're talking about validation, those two are a perfect example of I don't need to be validated, especially my mother-in-law. Listen, she don't need nobody to validate her at all. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Now, my wife has known them for pretty much a lifetime. It's been 4 years for me, but in the 4 years, 52 years, it takes work. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It takes work. I a lot of you would probably come in from the outside looking in and look at our parents and be like, how they been together for 52 years? It takes work. And what happens is again, and it's going to go back to something that we've said in prior episodes. Keep people out your marriage. The marriage is between you two. So if there's any validation to be had, like let me just say this, since we're we're talking about love and validation. If there is any validation to be had, that validation needs to come from your spouse. If there's any validation. But again, I call it words of affirmation. But I'm gonna validate you. You know what I'm saying? I vouch for you. I'm down like four flats in everything.
You're gonna ride it like bedrock, like Fred and Barney.
I mean, if we got to, get it with the feet and get the getting, we do it like Fred and Barney.
Hmm.
But again, man, I encourage you, ma'am. I encourage you, sir. Stop looking for validation um, through social media. Social media is a construct where we can connect with people. You know what I'm saying? We can share great stories. Matter of fact, we need to share great stories with everything that's going on in the world right now. I would rather hear some good news. I love seeing the videos of. I have a couple of friends, and they have a podcast as well. And oh, we got a message. Did you get the message?
I told him thanks for joining us.
Chad, I thought somebody I done got excited. But I appreciate you for
No,
sending that message.
you're welcome. I see we got 2 people watching.
It's us.
You know what? Stop playing.
It's us, man. It's us. It's us.
Uh,
And I'm trying to. I mean, you got it up on YouTube. Let me go back to Facebook and see because I feel like it should be saying that I am live on Facebook, but for some reason, I don't know why Facebook is not going live. Oh, there it is.
oh, yep.
There it is. Facebook is live. Okay, I just had to reset it. There I am. Let me mute Facebook. So we are live on the Facebook. So anybody that is on Facebook can definitely chat, chime in, because that's what we're here for. Is for the questions. And what was I talking about?
And validation.
I know, but I'm old. I was talking about validation, but we was talking about I was down like four flats.
Mhm.
What else was I talking about? See, this is what we mean when we talk about it's real, it's raw. You know what I'm saying? It's real conversations. It's real conversations. Um, so definitely, tune in, chime in. There's nothing that we won't discuss. There's nothing that we won't talk about. But we need your feedback. We need your input. We need your ideas. We need listen, if there's something that you want to discuss with us privately, we will even do that offline. This is not something because a lot of times people, and I'll say this, people suffer in silence.
Oh,
When there's
absolutely.
people out there that are willing to listen with no judgment and willing to help. Don't suffer in silence.
Right.
Don't suffer in silence. But again, so from a woman's perspective, what do you feel when you go on social media and you see a lot of the stuff that they put on there, when we look at it, you're like, man, that's for validation. They want attention and validation. How does it make you feel as a woman?
Well, um, it makes me feel like, "Man, why you doing that?" But, I'm not a comment reader
Right.
like you do. Um, and I just don't feed into it. I just don't. I mean, if you got beef with somebody or non-beef or something that's upsetting you, I feel like you should take it to that person and not to social media. I
Right.
think that person should not have to read that you upset or your feelings hurt. You telling everybody, in my opinion, it's kind of a slight disrespect, you know.
Hmm.
But then, we got two different kinds of validation. We got some people that go out there and put things out there because they think the leopard gonna change his or her spots,
True.
and, trying to put them on blast or trying to, mess up whatever they think they're gonna do, but in reality, people that may know about the situation will look at it and be like, Alright, what's next?" It's nothing brand new. So, I don't have anything against social media at all, but I just don't think it's a place to air, or try to make somebody look like there's something that they're not. And I think, social media should be just what it is, should be sociable. You should be able to connect with people you haven't talked to in a long time, or network, find new
Right.
networks to, whether you're in businesses, or, the groups. Like, I love the cooking groups. I love the women that love football groups,
Mhm.
the decorating groups. There's, only certain groups that I'm going to look in. Some of the other ones, I just don't. Um, so, validation, as long as you can validate yourself and happy with yourself. And I think too, that's why a lot of people go looking for validation, because they want somebody to be the yes person, or the yes man, or yes woman, or
Right.
that yes friend, or girl, I know that's right, a dog. Yeah, man. I don't blame, that's not a real friend, won't let you do that. A
True.
real friend will stop you in your tracks and be like, hey, you good? You know, and I've had people reach out to me before and be like, "Well, dang, you all right? I saw your post." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm great." I'm like, I had to go back when I was doing it, and I had to do what I would call like Inspiration Wednesday, or what I tell you, Grown Folk Wednesday or something. Just to give you little snippets of what I feel is, just that somebody may, grow off of. Just let it roll off your back, or whatever the case was. So I kind of, as you know, just stopped doing it, because I got tired of people being like, "Oh, something going on." No, ain't nothing going on. I'm trying to give y'all silly people advice to quit putting your business on Facebook or Instagram, or why does everybody have to know?
True.
I just don't get that.
And
But
again, it goes back to, like you said, they look for validation, but they're also looking for that yes man or that yes woman.
Mhm.
Because now it's like I'm in my feelings. You know what I'm saying? This is the way that I'm feeling. And I'm going to put this out there to see who else feels this way. And that's really not a solution to the problem.
All right.
That's not a solution to the problem. And then have the nerve to get mad, talking about why you all in my business. You put your business on Facebook. You put your business on Instagram. You put your business on a social media platform. What did you think was going to happen?
And that is why I do not read comments. Because if I see something that silly, I'm gonna be like, "Then why you even here? What you mention it for if you didn't want no reaction?"
Right.
Well, you wanted somebody to jump in there on on the comments.
And
You know.
that's 100% correct.
Mhm.
You wanted somebody to jump in on the comments. And a lot of the times you don't have to respond.
Oh.
Guess what? I've learned because I used to be listen, every time I would see something and somebody would post something and she knows there's times where I'll babe, look at this. And she'd be like, I'll get ready to, she'd be like, don't respond. You know what? You're
Mhm.
right. You're right. I'm not even going to respond because I'm getting ready to go in. And a lot of times people do that to trigger you, to get you to respond and almost start an argument with you online. It's not what it's unnecessary stress.
Mhm.
You're dealing with, and I'll say this because a lot of the things that I do see, you need to disconnect from social media. You need to disconnect from social media and actually take the time to seek healing. Whatever it is you're dealing with. I've seen just last night, I saw some stuff that threw me and I'm listening and I'm like, this person is talking crazy.
Mm.
I'm saying they the way they were talking and it came from hurt. It came from a place of hurt. And they kept saying that they were healed, but I'm like, no, you're not healed. They kept saying, "Oh, I'm over the situation. I forgive." No, no, because the way that you're talking about this, and that's not a place for social media. You may think that social media is the therapist couch where you can sit down and you know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
there's people on social media that don't have your best interest at heart. And they looking at you, and some people, instead of trying to help you, They sitting up talking about you. They going back, "Man, did you see that crazy fool on TikTok? Did you see that crazy fool on Instagram? Did you see that crazy fool on Facebook? You see what they post?" And they talking about you behind your back. You know, and you may not care, and it may help you get it off your chest, but what I'm saying is go to a professional. And everybody's not professional. There are some people that will use you for your money. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They'll use you for your money to get your money and not really care about your healing. But then there's people like me. See, there's people like me because I care. I do care. I've been at a place where I've been in depression. So I'm not going to stand in judgment for whatever it is that you may be dealing with or whatever it is that you may be going through. Stop seeking validation through social media and reach out to people that has your best interest at heart. Don't have all the answers, but I can listen. Do you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I can listen.
absolutely. Absolutely.
If I do have an answer, I'm going to give you based on my experience how I dealt with the situation, how I got over the situation. But what really, it just bothers me how there'll be certain things that's put out there and people will be like, "Oh yeah, you know what? That's right." And da 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 da. da." Okay, who you talking about?
Mhm.
See, you're never going to get over the problem. You're never going to get over the issue until you address the problem with the individual that you have the problem with or the group of people that you have the problem with. Call yourself a man, call yourself a woman, but you setting up sneak dissing through social media.
They're my favorite ones where, if, uh if my family don't talk to me, I ain't mad, but you mad because you letting us know.
You mad than a motor scooter. You know what I'm saying? Now I wanted to say the other word, but we trying to keep this PG. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like Peter. I'm the
Mhm,
cussing preacher, but I ain't gonna cuss. You know what I'm saying? Because I might deliver somebody, help
mm,
somebody. But but yeah, I'm saying, we're human. We're gonna have emotions. We're gonna deal with emotions, but don't let your emotions control you.
mhm,
Control
mhm,
your emotions. The thing of it is surround yourself with somebody. I'm gonna say it like this, because I'm gonna say it like that, because I know you know. I
mhm,
know you know. We got family, friends, different people that we may talk to and talk with and sit down and tell them, and they keep coming to us with the same situation.
mhm,
Same situation, and we tell, like you said, they think that a leopard gonna change its spots.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Maybe we keep telling you that they not gonna change. Why do you keep running back? Why do you keep, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you go into this situation knowing it's not going to change. You go into this situation knowing that you're going to get the same result. You set yourself up for heartbreak. Stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
but some people, I don't know. I don't know. Some people might be, addicted to heartbreak, so they can talk
Whoo-wee.
about it or,
Well,
whatever the case is. But I just
Rick James said cocaine is a hell of a drug. I guess heartbreak is one too.
yeah, man, it is for some people, and some people don't have and I get it. Sometimes you may be up thinking and, you know, I feel like that if the people that vent it out like that to social media, if you journal to yourself and
Mhm.
then when you're in a good frame of mind, go back and read what ticked you off
Right.
and then start to learn how to handle it. I mean, I'm a firm user of that. I did that when I was, not I'm not gonna say that I went through a depression, but I went through a moment to where, you know what, life got to get better,
True.
as
True.
far as, you do want a mate, but you don't want a mate for the reason just to have a mate. You want a good mate. You want
Right.
someone that's going to empower you, encourage you, strengthen you, be a team player, a teammate. We ain't out here running solos or hitting solo home runs. We hit these home runs together, you know. So, when you do that and you realize the little things that tick you off, you gain so much more power and your own self validation to where you can control it because you control the narrative.
Right.
You control your own narrative. It's how, how bad you're going to let somebody else. show that they hurt your feelings. You would never in a million years know that you hurt my feelings. Never. 'Cause I'm never gonna look at you and be like, "Oh, you hurt my feelings, da 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 da." But if we were good and all of a sudden we don't vibe no more, that should be your pain because I know I'm a good friend.
Right.
I know I'll ride for flats for my true friends any day of the week.
Right.
Any day of the week. All they got to do is call, text. We there. What time? Where we gotta go? What we doing? Um, so if that connection becomes broken, I can't say that I'm not the cause or the root of it, but it's definitely I'm a part of it. But have we resolved why we don't connect? And one thing about me is that I'm not a chaser because I believe in the person. They know what they did,
True.
and I shouldn't have to validate what they did. Because if you know me and you know it's well enough to tick me off or cut a bond, you already know what you asking me for, what you run around asking everybody for, or putting all these
Validation.
little sluts, little
Subliminal
things.
and
Yeah,
you know what
subliminal.
I'm saying?
And then, then quit, unfriend this, unfollow that. But you still looking because
Oh,
you
of
still see
course.
other stuff or like
Well, now, cause see,
yeah,
my stuff is private, so you unfriend me, you ain't gonna see nothing unless you go get with somebody
yeah,
and look on their page. I mean, and that's
yeah.
the thing, you know what I'm saying? If you feel, and that's your prerogative, that hey,
Mm,
you're an adult. If you feel that I have said something or that I have done something, and you feel like we can't come to a resolve, and the only resolve that we can come to is that you unfriend me on all social media platforms, hey, by all means, go ahead. I'm not losing any sleep.
yeah.
Baby, let me tell you something. I went through a season of loneliness. And in that season of loneliness, I learned how to love myself. I learned how to validate myself. I'm good all by myself. Some people say they good all by myself, but see, I listen, and it trips her out that I told her that there were times where I would go to the movies by myself because I like movies. I ain't gotta have no date to go to the movies. Sinners came out. I know she don't do scary movies. I was like, yo, I got tickets to go see Sinners. I'm about to go across the street to the movies. I'm about to go peep it out. I know you're not gonna watch it, so I'm gonna go enjoy myself.
Mm-mm. I watch HGTV and Food Network.
That's what she watched. She not gonna watch the scary movie. She not gonna listen. If it's got a scary title and it don't even have to be scary, she not gonna watch it. But what I'm saying is a lot of times people seek validation from other people. Man, listen, in that season of loneliness, and I say that season of loneliness, I learned a lot about me. I learned a lot about me that I figured people didn't like. And I said, let me change that. Because if I don't like it, I know people don't like it. If I can't stand to look, and that's where a lot of people are. You can't stand to see the ugliness of your own self. But I'm telling you, that's the first step, the very first step to your healing. That's the first step. Once you get past that step and you learn, you ain't got to be nasty with it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be nasty with it. Hey, I love myself enough that I can do this by myself. All my friends is getting married. All my friends got good spouses. But look, you know what? I'm gonna hold on till God send what He has for me. I'm not gonna try to force nothing. I'm not gonna try to make nobody believe that I got some good. You know what? Both ways, man and woman. Listen. You can't get caught up in that. Now I understand, and a lot of times we didn't understand why the elder said, "Hey, you should wait. You should." Now I understand because a lot of times you get tricked into believing, oh, this person is good just because they throwing it to you good. No, it's that is good, but they rotten to the core. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Mr. Raw.
I don't know why you say Mr. Raw. I mean, this is what the people don't want. This is what people deal with talking about
Ah,
Mr. Raw. You know that is 95% of the problem in most relationships because they hung up on the cuckoo or the dangalang. Oh, they giving it to me good.
oh my
So
god.
now you're blinded to the fact of everything else that they're doing because you focused on that.
We're live.
I know we live. What's that got to do with anything? I'm not gonna change who I am because we're live.
I didn't say change who you are, but I mean, dang.
What is that? We set up and preface the people on what this is.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
So why are you gonna beat around the conversation? It's real conversations.
I'm not beating around it, but what I'm saying is that some people sometimes 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 you know how you have a anonymous person writing a book because they can tell the story a little bit better. Sometimes though we make that advertisement and all that, it really don't be all that. You really out there looking for something different because you're trying to attract a certain, you're trying to what we call that bait, that bait and switch. What you're trying
I
to do.
mean,
Kind of like out there, oh, I ain't looking for no wife. I ain't trying to get married. I don't want to be married. But when deep down, that's what you want. You know what
that's
I
your
mean?
business.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's your business. I don't have to know that on social media.
That's true.
I don't have to know that.
Well, they might be doing their little catwalk on social media trying to,
That's why
trying to
you
swipe
end
left,
up.
right, left,
And
right,
that's
or however
why
you do it.
you end up with what you end up with because you out there portraying, you're typing, you're putting in the description something that you're not, and then when you put that in there, and that person shows up because they're attracted to not who you really are, but
Mhm.
they're attracted to what you're trying to be validated for. Now you upset. I can't find no good man. I can't find no good woman. What? Change your bait.
Right.
Change your bait.
Well, if you're watching us on YouTube, I see we got 3 people watching at least. Say hello to us, chat to us. Do you got a question?
Do you have a
Do you
question?
have a question? But I
Because we
think
are
that
getting ready to shut this down because the South Carolina girls is getting ready to play.
yes, let's go
And
Gamecocks.
you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yes.
getting ready to, you know what I'm saying? Set up. I got to tear down the studio just so that I can watch TV to watch the game. But
Yeah.
so
Tear down the
definitely.
studio and set up the bar.
And then I got to set the studio up again because we're gonna record some more episodes that that will drop next
Yeah.
Friday.
Hey, Patrice. Aw.
Who that over there?
Thank
Who
you for
that?
joining,
Let me see.
Patrice.
Oh, I see. Hey, what's happening? What's happening?
happening?
Oh, I can see it up there. See, it
Mhm.
comes into the
Oh,
actual
yeah.
podcast studio.
Yeah.
See, this is our first time going live, and we just wanted to test it out. We are going to do this on a regular basis. There's some things and some features within this
Still
application
learning phases. Yeah.
that I'm learning, but there's a way. Actually, there's a way, and I don't want to have. I think there's a way where we can control it, but there's a way where if you want to come on live in the podcast, whether we're recording or 'cause we can hit you up and say, hey, we're recording an episode. Do you want to be a part of the episode? But I think with the live, I think I was reading when I was reading kind of some of the stuff where we can have a studio audience and they can request to come in and ask the question. So there's I won't call it a podcast. I guess it's a podcast. They do it live because I know Lance Gross is going to be with them on May the 3rd. We will be on our way back to Raleigh. And I think all the tickets had sold out anyway,
Yeah.
but they do a live panel and they have people in the audience come up and ask questions. Again, we don't have all the answers. We're not perfect, but you know what I love to see? And I'm going to say this, and I know a lot of people are going to get upset, but you very seldom see this within our race. I love to see Black love. I love it. I
Yeah.
love seeing a Black man, listen to me, love on a Black woman properly.
Yes, and I don't think we talk about it. I don't think we validate that enough, truth be told. I
Listen,
don't think we talk
because a
about
lot
it
of the
enough.
times when you tune in on social media, it's a lot of, and I had a conversation with my nephew about that it's a lot of hate going back and forth, Black man against Black woman against Black man. We gotta start because there's too many people right now hating us. If we don't love us,
Yeah.
who gonna love us?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Man, we can do more together than we can. We got and that's something that's deeply rooted in history We gonna get into that. We gonna have some guests. We gonna talk about that. We
Mhm.
gonna get into that. But that's deeply rooted in slavery because they put our people against one another. Who's the strongest
Mhm.
Negro? And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They did that, and it carried over. Nah, it's time. It's 2026.
Yeah.
It's time for us to leave a legacy for our children, for our children's children, for our children's and go and leave a legacy that they can stand strong on, that they can be proud in. It's time to stop bending over and having our backs bent. Here goes
Mhm.
the thing. There's too many of us that if we understand that they playing in our faces and playing on our back, if we just stand up, we got the power.
Exactly.
We got the power.
So, couple things before we go. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. We definitely want to do this thing again with a bigger audience, a bigger interaction. If you get a chance to look at it, it is a little different. I think normally when we're not live, we're definitely more conversatable or, whatever the case is. But we just wanted to wing something and see how it goes. But we need more participation from you guys. So we need you guys to follow, share, give us some things you want to talk about, give us some things you
Definitely.
want to hear.
Definitely.
I plan to have some of my sister circle and their mates give us some suggestions and they give us feedback
They do.
and we appreciate it.
Love
We
it. And
don't
you
we
know
don't
what? You
take
know what?
nothing offensive because we ask them, "Hey, what do you want to see or what do you feel like this or what do you feel like that?" So we want it. We want this thing to be able to help somebody because this is the thing. If somebody else don't talk about their life experience, think about growing up, what you didn't hear at home, what you didn't hear. And most of my friends and our friends have good parents that were comfortable talking about what not to do in the street. But trust me, with all we got going on, there's some people that don't know how to relate anything about life or life experience. And that's what we're here for, to let you know that number one, you're not the only one that's experienced something, whether it's positive or negative. Number two, there's nothing wrong with talking about, your life experience and trying to help someone not make what you felt like was a mistake or
Right.
what you felt like wasn't the right turn at the right time.
Right.
We always have those paths and that's the thing about it is God gives you this path. God has only given us one path, but we got so many roads. It's up to us to make sure that we go down that right road. And are you always going to go down the right road? No. That's why we got streets, turns, avenues, but we're here to help. I want someone to experience what my parents had 52 years. Um, it ain't all 52 years ain't all been easy. I've been there, but they're there. They're stronger than ever. I think COVID made them better upon retirement age and they had so many plans to do things. Then COVID came, you ended up being, kind of stuck in the house or whatnot. But I feel like that if you wait too late in life to become cordial or to become loving or to become don't wait till you need somebody to start being nice. You know what I mean? Don't date somebody for 32 years and then get sick, and then, "Oh, I ain't got nobody to take care of me, so now you want them, because you will be sick on my watch."
Look, wait. First of all, you ain't gonna be dating nobody. You mad? You
You
getting
know
to get
you
somebody
you
stabbed,
know what I'm
and you
saying.
gonna get somebody shot.
You know what
Know what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying?
But I'm just saying, we have we just got several, I just feel like that we need to love each other, be kind. If you don't do nothing else, you ain't gotta like nobody, but be kind. And if you don't like them, it's okay. But you ain't gotta
It's
even
kind of
if you
hard
bold
to
enough
be
to be like,
kind.
I don't like you, that's fine.
You're
I've
exactly right.
I've done that.
It's kind of
I
hard,
mean,
but
I'm gonna no, it ain't hard. I don't like you, but
yeah,
I'm gonna
but
be nice to you. I'm
and,
gonna treat you nice.
I ain't got to fool with you. I'm just
But
saying it
if
is.
I don't
So
like you, I don't like you.
so
I ain't gonna be
and
fake
that's
about
it.
it.
That's it. But
Yeah.
again, like I said, we're gonna do the lives. Um, we're gonna do the lives. Look, tell somebody, share this, like, share, comment, because the next time we go live, depending who come on and come in and comment first, we might have some gifts. See what I'm saying? And we not putting the gifts out there just to get people to come in, but I just feel like, and I was telling her earlier that sometimes we got to be a blessing to other people,
Mhm.
not just in word. Sometimes there's a need. We may not know the need, but there's times where God may put it on my heart. Hey, so and so needs to be blessed with this. So you come in, you come on the live with the with gas prices skyrocketing.
Mm.
You might get a $50 gift card, get some gas, get some groceries, get something. Because I feel like when we bless others,
Mhm.
God gonna turn around and bless us. Bill Cosby said it best. He said it best, and they asked Cosby, "How come he has so much?" He said, "Because when God gives it to me, He shovels it into me. I shovel it back out, and He shovels more in." So I'm a firm believer in that. But again, we're gonna go ahead and sign off because we got to get ready to watch this game. I wanted to go 30 minutes. We went over a little bit. And that's what we tend to do. We tend to go over, but definitely we want you to check out live when we go live. We will advertise. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Follow us so that we can start doing the advertising. Got to do a little bit more advertising on each one of those platforms. Sometimes the daily 9 to 5 gets in the way, but I think I'm going to
Mhm.
set aside times on the weekend where I can get all of that done so that all I got to do now is there's systems to where I can program it to, you know what I'm saying? It can drop
Mhm.
without me pushing a button.
Right.
But again,
Thank y'all.
I'm Ty,
And I'm Tanya.
and until the next time, peace. Stopping the live. Stopping